What's up, folks? This is my movie review of Black Mass starring Johnny Depp, directed by Scott Cooper. So Black Mass is an American crime movie focused on the story of James Whitey Bulger, one of the most notorious crime lords in United States history. So James Whitey Bulger is a prominent leader of organized crime in South Boston during the 70s and 80s. But that's not the kicker. Of course, he's a crime lord. That's what this movie's about. But the kicker is he forms an alliance with the FBI. Automatically, when you hear that, alliance, FBI, organized crime together, sounds like a rat to me. But this is why he did it. He formed an alliance with the FBI in order to get his competition off the streets, the American Mafia off the streets of Boston. Well, he simply did this because they were invading his turf. They wanted to rule all of Boston, but he said, no, I'm gonna throw a curveball. He formed an alliance with the FBI in order to protect his gang, the Winter Hill Gang, protect himself, and then rid the streets of the American Mafia in Boston. I don't know about y'all, but that is insane that he formed this alliance with the FBI and he actually pulled it off for 30 years? That's crazy. Who's ever done that? Not to mention, if you don't know, this story is based on a true story. This actually happened, folks. He really did this. So now that we got the plot out the way, let's talk about the actual movie. So, for starters, Johnny Depp as James Whitey Bulger is outstanding. He is incredible in this role. And honestly, from beginning to end, I believed everything about the character. I believed Johnny Depp's portrayal. I pretty much got lost in the fact that it was Johnny Depp, and I really believed that this was this notorious, murderous, organized crime leader. And if you didn't know about Whitey Bulger, you could just see through this movie, he is a criminal, strictly criminal. He is ruthless. He killed at pretty much any point in time. He had no regard for people that were in his life, because if he felt threatened, he would off them. And honestly, with that type of frightening depiction, you really believe that at any point somebody could die, because he was just like a loose cannon and he would kill when it needed to happen, and he would bury them, and he would bury them right next to each other. It was just very, very ruthless and vicious to watch. Because of that, props have to be given to Johnny Depp. I mean, seriously, he delivered one of his career best performances in Black Mass. If you haven't been following Johnny Depp over the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years, he's been making a lot of duds. He hasn't made too many good movies in recent times. So me as a fan of Johnny Depp, I was wondering like, is he washed up? Is his career over? It just might be, but no, not anymore. This role put him back at the top of the map. I mean, again, he does an incredible job as James Whitey Bulger. He's just magnificent. He's magnetic. Like I said, he's frightening. It was just really a cold, callous performance, and you just believed everything that was going on. Sure enough, Johnny Depp is going to get some Academy Award buzz off of this role. If he doesn't, I think it's criminal, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna get some Oscar buzz from Black Mass. So what about the rest of the cast? The rest of the cast is magnificent. I mean, it's really an A-list cast. I mean, you have Joel Edgerton, you have Benedict Cumberbatch, you have Kevin Bacon, you have Corey Stoll, you have a lot of really heavy-hitting players in this movie. Yeah, the cast is primarily white males, but that's to be expected. I mean, it's a story of Irish-American mobsters and mafia in Boston in the 70s and 80s. You're not really gonna get any folks of color in this movie. I mean, you had Joel Edgerton as John Connolly, who formed the alliance with Whitey Bulger. I mean, he was just fantastic in this movie as well, opposite of Johnny Depp's character. Overall, I think he did an incredible job. Now, I do have a gripe with the movie. A lot of the supporting characters just kind of dipped in and out, like Benedict Cumberbatch as Billy Bulger, Whitey Bulger's brother. They just kind of dipped in and out, so we didn't get that much screen time with those characters. And I think a part of that is because this movie is very tight. It's a 2-hour movie. Typically, biopic movies are very, very long, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Typically, that's how long they run, but this was a very tight 2-hour movie. And I commend Scott Cooper and the writers for doing that, because they told a really linear story. They followed one story for the most part. All the subplots and plot lines that happen outside of it, they really didn't devote much time to that. And typically in most other movies, you get other plot lines that really add on time to the movie. So I have to give them credit for cutting all that down, but that did take away from some of the appearances of the supporting cast. And also, some of the plot seemed a little bit uneven, some of the pacing seemed a little bit uneven at some point in times, but for the most part, I thought it was a very concise, tight, and linear storyline that was easy to follow, easy to pick up on. I love American crime movies. It's one of my favorite genre of film. I believe they tell some of the most gruesome and ruthless stories that you could ever tell, and the fact that this is a real-life story, and James Whitey Bulger is one of the most notorious organized crime lords in history, just shows that this movie has such a magnetic presence, because you want to find out about his story. And like I said earlier, it's just absolutely ridiculous to think about that he had an alliance with the FBI for 30 years. 30 years, folks. That's incredible. He was an organized crime lord. His best friend was a part of the FBI, and his brother was the Massachusetts state senator. They had all sides of the power. It really got to a point that Whitey Bulger was untouchable. I mean, he was an untouchable force in Boston, in America. He was just really one of those pivotal, prominent, organized crime leaders. Johnny Depp just absolutely nailed it out the park. He did an incredible job with the role. Johnny Depp is back with this role. Hopefully he can continue to do great things after this, but I was really worried about his career and where he was going, but he had me convinced the entire time of Black Mass. So with that said, I have to give Black Mass an 8 out of 10. I give it an 8 out of 10. Like I said, Johnny Depp is incredible. He nails it right on the head. The rest of the movie, it wasn't as excellent as I thought it was going to be. It was a really good movie, but from the buzz that it was initially getting, I thought it was going to be excellent and outstanding. It wasn't excellent and outstanding, but Johnny Depp's character, his portrayal as Whitey Bulger really propelled it to being a very, very good movie. So if you haven't seen Black Mass, go check it out. Like I said, Johnny Depp is probably going to get Academy Award buzz off of this role. Go see it now in theaters. As always, follow me on social media at JRW the Creator, Twitter and Instagram, and then go check out my website jordanrwilliams.com for more information and news and movie reviews and music reviews and video game reviews and opinion pieces. I do a lot, so go check it out, and as always, I'll see y'all next time.